If you work on your computer, you socialize on your phone, you watch things on your iPad, these are devices that you are using every single day. And in them is this small world of all of your things, similar to your home. And like your home, they need to be cleaned out semi-regularly and be given a full-on deep clean from time to time. Sometimes in your house, you just get used to spaces not being organized and areas being cluttered and things being hard to find. But every time that you do a declutter or a day of organizing or deep cleaning, you consistently feel better afterwards, and you generally reap the benefits of that for a long time after the fact. So in this video, I wanted to walk you through a digital declutter with me so that you can do your own digital declutter to reset, refresh, and get your digital spaces organized. It's going to be completely interactive, so after each step there is going to be space where you can pause and do that particular activity yourself. Some of these are quick wins, some of these are longer wins. Regardless, you'll leave this video feeling refreshed and reset. Step 1, clear off your desktop. So start by deleting everything on your desktop. Everything. Your desktop is really your base, and having nothing on your desktop feels similar to the way that having a clear kitchen bench or countertop feels. Pause this video now to clear everything off of your desktop. Now clear out your downloads folder. If this isn't something that you regularly do, you might need to go through and gather what you need. Usually I delete without looking too much, and if I really need it, I'll find it again later. Pause this video now and delete everything from your downloads folder. Step 3. Declutter your computer apps. Take a look at the apps that you have downloaded and ask yourself, what don't I use and what don't I need? When it comes to applications, we tend to be blind to the things that we don't really click on. To help you to really see every app, try right-clicking and sorting all of your applications by something different. So I went ahead and I sorted all of my applications by date added. Then move any applications that you don't use on your computer to the bin. When I did this activity, I realized that all of my Apple apps couldn't be deleted, and there were a bunch of things that I needed to keep that I didn't really need. So what I ended up doing is actually sorting all of my applications by tag. I had a tag for applications that I use to create documents and a tag for applications that I use to create videos, etc., etc. You might also want to go into the dock and organize all of your applications there, getting rid of anything that you don't use regularly. Pause this video now to do this step. Step number 4, run your virus software cleanup or Clean My Mac. Now is a good time to run a program like Clean My Mac or the Windows equivalent. Products like Clean My Mac and antivirus seem to be controversial in the tech world, so do skip this if you're anti Clean My Mac. When I used it for the first time, it fixed a long-term problem on my computer that I tried really hard to fix, so I keep on using it. Step number 5, customize the Finder sidebar. If you're like me, you use your Finder a lot, so it's really important that you can find stuff that you access a lot easily. Remove any links from the sidebar that you don't use, and start to add any folders that you access frequently to your Finder. Pause this video now to follow this step. Step number 6, organize your files. Now, this is a slightly longer step depending on your computer situation. You might want to skip ahead and come back to it. You might have tons of folders and you don't know what's in any of them, and in that case, simplify, categorize your folders, and delete what is no longer needed. If there are any folders that you access a lot but you have friction with, so maybe you can never find where your resume is, or you can never find your photos based on where they were taken, you might want to revisit those things that cause friction and categorize and organize. I've recently gotten a new computer and had a total of 1 folder on my Mac, but I have my 2 external hard drives to organize. My biggest thing is that I tend to put folders in folders in folders. It's almost too organized in some places so that everything is buried in its lovely folder, but then I find myself having to click through 5 folders to get to anything. So my mission was to really fix the folder situation. Pause this video now to follow this step. Step number 7, clear out your cloud-based storage. If you have iCloud or Google Drive set up, and like me, your cloud-based storage is disorganized and it's filling up fast, take some time to clear things out and organize your folders and files as you did with your computer files. I always have absolutely random things in my Google Drive, and it's pretty difficult to navigate and relatively useless most of the time. Something I did was I got rid of the suggestions links at the top. These always really confused me, and they made my experience with Google Drive more annoying. So you can do this by going to your settings and switching off suggestions. Pause this video now and follow this step, clearing out your own cloud-based storage. Step number 8, organize your browser toolbar. Your browser, like your Finder, is something that you access all of the time. Make the stuff that you reference the most super easily accessible by organizing your browser toolbar. I don't really use Chrome bookmarks because they're not easily accessible, but I do use the browser bookmark toolbar, almost as a list of all of my bookmarks. So I organize like items into bookmark bar folders. For example, I have all of my tools, most of which I bought from AppSumo, and they are grouped in one folder. My courses are listed for easy access. Anything that's related to LifeMap Collective, my planner brand, is grouped into one folder. Pause this video now to declutter your bookmark toolbar and add anything that you reference frequently. Step number 9, declutter your browser extensions. We all download browser extensions that we don't end up using, and they slow down your browser and they make extensions that you do use harder to access. Take a second to delete any browser extensions that you don't use. Pin the ones that you do use or that you want to use more of so that they are easily accessible. Pause this video now to declutter your browser extensions. Step number 10, unsubscribe from everything. So now we are in your emails. I don't think that having your emails cleared out is actually that important if you don't really use your emails for anything other than the occasional newsletter or a discount. But if you do receive emails that you actually need to do things about, it's worth having a cleared out email inbox. The types of emails I would unsubscribe to would be anything clothing and electronics related, any Amazon updates, anything that really makes you want to buy stuff. The types of email newsletters that I would say subscribe to are newsletters that add value, like James Clear's newsletter or my newsletter, which the format and simplicity of was absolutely inspired by James Clear. Pause this video now to unsubscribe from any newsletters that you don't want to be cluttering up your inbox. Step number 11, organize your inbox email labels. If you are like me, you might overuse your Gmail labels. I chuck everything into a new Gmail label and I call it a day, and sometimes that just leads to me being confused as to where to find said emails. Now is the perfect time to declutter and curate your labels, should you have them. I had to blur out my emails, but I did want to show you a better before and after. This is what my labels looked like before, and this is what my labels looked like after. I've actually been using this for a week or two, and I didn't realize the impact of organizing my labels and how much of a difference that would make to me when I'm just clearing out my emails on a regular basis. Having labels that are usable and curated really does make a difference. Pause this video now to clarify your inbox labels. Step number 12, clear out your email inbox. So the next step is to get to inbox 0. Declutter your inbox by generously deleting items and replying only to what feels necessary until you reach a point where you feel clear. Something that has been really game-changing for me is realizing that not all of my emails require a response. If I responded to every single one of my emails, I feel like I would be at my emails all the time. It's a good idea to set up an auto response that says, hey, I really appreciate your email. I can't get back to everyone's email. That way that expectation is set when people contact you. Pause this video now to clear your inbox. Step number 13, declutter your papers. So now we are going to take a step back and declutter your workspace. And we're starting by decluttering your paperwork. So getting rid of anything that's lying on your desk, whether it be letters from the bank, flyers from your local mechanic, business cards, discard them, take a photo of them, store them digitally if you think that you'll reference them later, and process anything that needs to be processed. Pause this video now to declutter your papers. Step number 14, clear out any notebooks. If you have notebooks on your desk, take some time to clear them out now. I have definitely gone from a person with a lot of notebooks for every single topic to a few curated notebooks that I use regularly. But I have still kept some of the old notebooks around. Go through, take photos of anything in your notebook that you do want to store, and store those digitally. Pause this video now to clear out your notebooks. Step number 15. Clear out any stationery. If you have any stationery that no longer works, maybe erasers that are down to an unusable state, pens that you actively avoid using because they're not good pens, go ahead and declutter those types of items. What you're looking at is my very small collection of pens. I only buy the same brand pens. This has been a habit that I've been in for years, but it makes life really easy because I always know that I will like and use my pens. Pause this video now to declutter your stationery. Now let's move to your phone. And if you have one, iPad. Start by clearing out your apps. Once again, we love to download random apps that look useful in the moment and then we never delete them. Go through all of the apps that are in your tablet it and delete any apps in your phone that just don't get used or that you don't want in your life. A good way to do this, the KonMari way, is actually taking all of your apps out of any folders, shuffling them around so that you can see them in a new light, and then start deleting. I did this the manual way, but there's probably an easier way to do it. Otherwise, like with your computer apps, you just get this weird blindness where you don't notice apps that have been sitting there in your visual space for so long because your brain is so used to them. Pause this video now to clear out your apps. Step number 17, organize your app pages. Now it is time to organize your app pages, and with iOS 14, this is a little more fun if you do have an iPhone. I spent way too long doing this because it is really enjoyable, and I didn't even end up with one of the pretty iPhone screens like I've seen everyone having, but it is functional, which is good. Maybe I'll get to pretty later. As a general rule, put the stuff that you don't want to access in a harder to access space. Put the stuff that makes you a better person, that fills your life with growth, front and center, right in front of you, and put the neutral stuff in the middle of that stuff. Pause this video now to organize your app pages. Step number 18, unfollow shops and people on Instagram. If you have a primary social media platform, take the time to unfollow people. My primary social media is definitely Instagram, so I went ahead and cleared out my following list. I did blur this because it felt rude. I think most mature people will understand unfollows really aren't meaningful. I unfollow people all the time. Often I unfollow them because I watch their stories too much and I feel like it's wasting my time, so it can almost be a compliment if I unfollow someone. If you are worried that someone will be sensitive to you unfollowing them, just go ahead and mute them. Pause this video now to go on an unfollowing spree on your social media platform of choice. Step number 19, clear out your filters. This is definitely a niche instruction, but if you use Instagram stories often, take some time to clear out your filters. I've added so many filters to my filter list and I use a total of 2. You can pause this video now and clear out your Instagram filters should you have them. Step number 20, change your phone background. This is a good time to refresh your phone completely by switching up your phone background. There are a million backgrounds on Pinterest that you can use for free, and that is exactly what I did. I did a search on Pinterest for this one. I kept my app screen background really minimal so that I could see my apps quite clearly, and for my lock screen I put a picture of me and my niece because she is a little cutie, and also I just don't have a good enough photo of me and Luke to put it as my lock screen anymore. Pause this video now to switch up your phone screen. Step 21, clean out your screenshots. You might have done this earlier when you cleared out your cloud storage, but if you didn't take some time to clean out your screenshots, do that now. Screenshots are really funny because despite how often you screenshot, you rarely actually look back at your screenshots. It's probably a good thing to add in your weekly reset if you have one. It's almost a capture space. So pause this video now to declutter your screenshots. If you're wanting to reduce your social media time, reduce your screen time in general, I actually have a bunch of videos that I have created to help you do that. This video is good for organizing your digital spaces, but if you're trying to actually reduce the time that you spend on your devices, I feel like that's a whole different set of advice. So I'm going to have a playlist of all of my videos on that on the screen. I appreciate you guys so very much, and I will see you soon.